Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Sphere Exclusives. Looking for exclusive content from your favorite podcasts here at the Sphere? Head over to sphere.tv/Patreon and sign up today. True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to Technocrats, where we talk about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I'm your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And unfortunately, the lovely Ari McKinney isn't here today. However, we've got the one, the only, the Mr. IT himself.
Not really.
Give him a new tag. Mr. Antonio Raddick. What up, Antonio?
Yo, I can't call him, man. You know, y'all can follow me, Antonio Dewan at Facebook. I'm just here to, help out the leader of the group. You know what I'm talking about?
Good deal, man. We appreciate you, good sir. Appreciate you.
Always.
Appreciate
Anything
you.
for the family, man.
Hey, man. Yes. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Warms and fuzzies.
That's hard for him, y'all.
Yeah, yo, I'm straight Sag, man.
Facts.
Sometimes Scorpio, but straight Sag most of the time. So just let's warm the audience up, because obviously first time on the show. So thank you again for that. I think it's always important for the audience to know who they're conversing with, who they're talking to, the professionals in the room. So let's tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you come from, how you got into IT, where those passions lie.
So basically, I fell into IT. I kind of always liked computers. I kind of always liked a little bit of IT. I fell into IT once I graduated college. I was doing some stuff around, not with my degree, and basically I was roped in by a hospital to implement an EMR system, electronic health records. And from there, I parlayed that into consulting, project management, traveled around the country. And I've been able to, take that information and that knowledge and, work my way up into the healthcare field in a executive level. Okay. So that's kind of what I do. But I'm a techie by heart. I got 7 or 8 different devices. Nice. I'm always looking at the newest and latest and greatest. I'm reading up on tech. I invest in tech stocks. So that's me.
That's what's up, man. Well, we're happy to have you on, and we know that you're going to bring a wealth of knowledge to the crew, to the subscribers, and for all our technocrats out there right now, make sure you get your digital pass and pens ready, because obviously we're going to talk about a few different things today. We're definitely going to talk about this Instagram down, Facebook down hashtag that went around because people could not get on the service. We're going to talk Tesla. They're unveiling a new Model Y, brand new vehicle tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 o'clock Central for those that are here with us, and then, of course, 5 o'clock Eastern. So that's about to get jumping, and we've got to talk about our latest topics or segments, Gamers Want It, and talk a little bit about that. But first, let's go ahead and kick it off, man, because this affected people all over the world. Facebook down, Instagram down. It appears that for the better part of Wednesday, almost a whole day, there was a Facebook outage that was supposedly had to do specifically with server configurations. Now, I'm not a big believer in that personally, because not only was Facebook down, but so was Instagram. And for those that are unfamiliar with the conversation, obviously Facebook owns Instagram, and so was WhatsApp was down. And for those that are not familiar, Facebook bought WhatsApp a while ago. So both of these three massive global services were down, including Facebook Messenger, which has kind of been a spinoff from the original Facebook. And we're talking about people all over the world, definitely here in Texas, people in Europe, people in Australia. I mean, simply put, this was a global event that was not 1 or 2 hours, but something that was for the most of the day.
It was 10 hours, I believe.
Yeah. And that's, we sleep 8, 9, 10 hours,
Right.
For some of these bums out there. For some of
Not
us,
hustling hard.
we 4 to 6 hours. We lucky to get a good six.
Get a nap in.
Yeah. But
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So talk to me from your perspective, from a user perspective. How did that feel for you to have to deal with the lack of Facebook?
So it's funny, right? So I'll be honest. I tend to think that I am more of a social media junkie than I'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. I didn't really notice it until I saw the hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
Now it could have been that I was at work and I was just busy grinding it out. I have a really important event this weekend, so I was doing some stuff on that as well. So I just looked up and saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just ironic. So the good news for me is it made me realize that I'm not as much of a social media junkie as I thought. But it was crazy because when I really started to read about it, and let's be honest, right? Facebook has lost the benefit of the doubt, right? With all the security breaches and the security vulnerabilities, working in IT, understanding the importance of secure data. I find it hard to believe that a server configuration took your product down for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And I think that they've had so much bad press, and people are just leaving Facebook by the droves, even though it is still the largest consumer of social media out there. It's just really weird that happened. But I also find it funny because some people really can't define themselves without Instagram. I think that was more of an impact than Facebook. I think Facebook was kind of like, but people were going ballistic not having Instagram.
No, spot on. I was one of those people going ballistic. And here's the thing. And so I've worked in server farms. I've worked in data centers. I've ran cabling. I've racked servers. I've configured servers.
Right.
I've literally been in the midst of. It does not. First and foremost, production. There's no such thing as production changes.
Right.
Everything happens usually downtime. Everything happens redundantly so that you can do a seamless transition, or what we would call a failover, to another server when you want to implement a new patch or whatever the case is. So you can literally work on the backup, and I'm just keeping it in layman's terms. You can work on the backup server or the secondary, get that to where you want it to be, take users from the primary, transition them seamlessly to the secondary, and then work on the primary. That's how this works. There's no questions about this whatsoever. So it shouldn't have been a 10-hour downtime from a configuration. It should have been maybe a 10-minute downtime for them to realize, oh no, we've configured something wrong. Users don't have access, and then transition all those users back over to your primary, or in this case, your secondary, whatever the case is.
Right.
That's how high availability, HA, or a hot swap or failovers work by design. You don't have a multi-billion-dollar industry or company within a multi-billion-dollar industry that has this type of issues unless it was something so much larger than what they're telling us. And I would probably say there was an attack involved. That's where I would live more so than a simple server configuration.
No, I agree 100%. I think, and you make great points. I mean, in hospital IT, we do it all the time. We have planned downtimes, failovers, and it makes me look at where was your backup at?
Come on.
Why was your backup so far behind that it took 10 hours? We're constantly
that
running.
Ain't a backup.
Right.
That's a brand new server.
That's a brand new
built
server.
out for 10 hours.
You're constantly building a mirror for your primary and secondary, so that in an instance where your primary goes down, it's a seamless switch over for those unplanned downtimes, is what we call it in my industry. So yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, I think Facebook has lost the benefit of the doubt. So it'll come out eventually.
They lying to us, kid.
Fact though.
They lying to us. I want to give a shout out to everybody on Facebook Live. Monique, we see you. Kamisha hit us with the I feel you. Yeah, the wondering. What's up, JJ from the Digital Ramble and the Y Experience? Make sure y'all check him out over on those podcasts. Y'all can hit the sphere.tv/shows, and you can find the Digital Ramble there. And Erlene says, what is good fam. What is good back to you, and konnichiwa to Clinton. We see you over on the Facebook watch. Yeah, man, I had to break that down for you, Clinton, because people need to understand, like, these type of things just don't happen.
Correct.
Right? That's not what it is. But we want to know, how did it affect you all? For everybody who's tuned in right now, how did it affect you to have to migrate away from Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp for most of your working day on Wednesday? And we know a couple of apps like Telegram got 3 million new users in 24 hours. Telegram is an encrypted messaging service. They run strictly on donations. And they've got about 200 million users worldwide. They jumped 3 million users. We're talking about 1.5%, which is excellent for them in 24 hours because of this.
And it's funny too. I think the irony of the whole situation is Facebook's biggest competition is Twitter. Mm-hmm. They had to go on Twitter to explain the issue with Instagram and Facebook. I just thought that was hilarious. That's hilarious. Like, if you're Twitter, you're like, you can't buy this type of promo. Our shit doesn't go down. Like, it's crazy.
Twitter was on fire yesterday.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I was all in for that. But yeah, definitely let us know how you feel, because we want to get some insight to that. Make sure y'all hit us up at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag Technocrats. Let's transition.
Before we transition
to an ad,
exactly
like that.
This portion of the show is sponsored by the Sphere exclusive team.
What up?
Looking for exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else? Looking to know further than our Sphere exclusive. Look no further than our Sphere exclusive, found only at the Patreon. We've got behind the scenes shots happening daily at the Sphere Podcast Studios. Each of the shows of the podcast network curates episodes that only delivered on Patreon exclusive subscribers. Plus, we deliver the shows live from start to finish on our Discord server that is exclusive for our Patreon family. Sign up today at www.thespeartv.tv/Patreon to join our $2, $5, or $8 Patreon tiers and access all the exclusive content we offer today at the Sphere.
There it is. There it is. That was a little tongue twister for you, kid.
At the end, my bad, y'all. Cool. I don't read that one normally on my show. My bad.
It's all good, man. TheSphere.tv/Patreon.
There you go.
Make sure y'all check this out. So let's transition into a new conversation over at our digital trends. So
that's fire.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So, hopping on digital trends, obviously we've been following Apple for quite some time, especially when it comes to Apple TV as a product. Now, for those who are in the Technocrat space, you have this device that can turn your regular TV into a smart TV via this small little puck-like device, and basically it has applications installed and the ability to install other apps. And we're talking things like Netflix, Hulu, CBS, Fox. We're talking games, YouTube, podcasts. You can basically consume content from this device called an Apple TV. Well, it looks like Apple has a planned event come March 25th, and we want to kind of break this down because guess what, folks? They may be taking on the behemoth called Netflix. So let's dive into this, and I've dropped a new link on the Runner Show for this particular topic. And according to Apple, they say it is showtime. Coming March 25th, 10 a.m. That's probably going to be their Pacific time. We expect them to actually launch their full-fledged streaming service. Now, one of the big things we've seen is your karaoke car service and a couple of other Apple-owned productions that they've put out and kind of teased us with it, but we're talking a whole nother lineup. We're talking partnerships with Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey and other people that may be exclusive to this Apple platform. Now, Tuck, I see you with the iPhone over there, good sir. I see you holding it tight, nice.
Yeah,
The question would be, do you think this is something that users would be willing to yet again carve out dollars for, along with all these other subscription services that we've known to grow and love or hate to consume content?
So here's the thing, right? First and foremost, I think that the competitive nature of everything, right? You need a yin and yang. You need those competitions to drive different things, right? So I think Apple has a right mindset from that standpoint. But you're right. They gouge their consumers, right? Their phones are increasingly going up. I want to say it's like a 30% increase from like 2010 to 2019. It's crazy. You got Apple Music, and they have exclusive deals. You have, it's just a bunch of stuff that you have to do. So would I do it? I would out of convenience, right? So here's what Apple's banking on, in my opinion. Our customers have Apple products, right? I have an Apple, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, I have a MacBook Pro. My wife has the big computer, the big Apple computer. So, I really think that they're banking on customers are going to say, you know what, I'm going to purchase Apple because it's less integration. There's less interface. I don't have to worry about it. It's right there. I can get to it from here. Not to say you can't do that from Netflix, but I think if you have an Apple device, when they launch this, I think your Netflix service will get a little shaky. I believe that they will. I think they'll do that to drive people to go to the Apple product. But here's one thing I will say: the next streaming service for movies and TVs, if you don't go back and get some of the older content. Like the thing I hate about Netflix is I feel like Netflix should have the old. I like 80s movies. I like 90s movies. The fact that you don't have that content, that to me has always been a huge gap. And I feel 90s TV shows. Why can't I find Full House? Why can't I find? Not Full House. Why can't I find Family Matters? That's funny. Why can't I find Fresh Prince? Why can't I find a Jamie Foxx show? You guys need to go back and invest in that content because that content. They eat off that TV One eats off that content all the time. So
then when you say that, the first thing that comes to my mind is possibly a licensing agreement issue, right?
Right.
If TV One may have exclusivity, or there may not be the proper negotiations available for Netflix to secure that content, or they may, and I don't know if they've ever done some A/B testing to say this content works well for the demo that we have, or it only works well in X areas and we're thinking more globally, whatever the case is. Who knows? But I agree with you. There is a gaping hole in Netflix service, right, for content, especially that speaks to an African-American demographic.
Correct.
But I do wonder what Apple will do. And like you, I agree that things will shake up a little bit come March 25th. It's too easy for Apple to deliver this service to all their users.
Correct.
Way too easy. And just like Apple Music came about, even though iTunes already existed, it literally came in and shook up the streaming platforms and immediately became one of the behemoths.
Yep.
You can't get around Apple Music. You can't talk about Spotify or Tidal, if you're talking about Tidal, unfortunately, but talking about Tidal without talking about Apple Music. And I think we're going to see the same thing from this as well as from Disney. When Disney launches Disney Plus,
that's crazy.
And they pull all this content, exclusive content, all your Marvels, your Toy Stories, all these things comes out of Netflix and any other platform, and you can only find it one place, that's going to be another shakeup. And I think we're in the precipice of all these behemoths just really fighting for this $10, $12 a month market share. We'll see, though. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they bring to life. Once again, this is going to be on March 25th. The time for it is 10 a.m. It doesn't say that it's Pacific time, folks. For those of you all for our Cali viewers, that's 10 o'clock your time, more than likely. For anybody in Mountain or Central or working your way Eastern, and, of course, all our overseas viewers, it'll be at different times, so make sure you are aware. Because if you're using an iPhone or an iDevice, an iPad, a MacBook, whatever, this is going to affect you, and you're going to have some extra options. So definitely that's what's up. And let us know, how do you like the service you have now? Are you willing to let that service go? We want to know those things. Shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv. Keep us abreast of your streaming changes. We want to know about that. Now, Facebook Livers, I love y'all. I support y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. But we can't give you the whole show. We got to still have this conversation about Tesla. We're going to talk about Microsoft and Xbox and what they're doing on the mobile platforms. But guess what, folks? You've got to go subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/Technocrats. We've got a few options for you. You can find us right there on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart. We're on Spotify. We're anywhere that podcasts can be found. And of course, while you're there, share this content out. Share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share it with anyone you know that wants to become more enveloped in technology in a way that's actually palatable, something that they can truly understand from a layman's perspective. And at the same time, write us some reviews. We want to know how we're doing. We want to help build better shows for you. So please give us that constructive criticism. Leave those comments right there on Apple Podcasts. You can do it right from your phone. Let us know that you like the show or dislike the show or what changes you need. And of course, last but not least, if you truly love what we're doing, sow a seed over here at The Sphere. Head over to sphere.tv/donate. We got a couple of options. One that's right there on the website. You can hit that button for a one-time donation. For everybody that's done that so far, thank you all so much. And we're starting to build up some promo stuff that we want to send out to you all for those donations. Just stuff that we have here in the office or stuff that we use. Just some thank you. So that's personalized for you. And of course, shout out to all our fans over there on Patreon. If you want to get some exclusive content, like my man, Mr. Raddick said earlier, get that exclusive content, you can only get that on Patreon. We've got shows that are dropping content every month for you, and we've got stuff that's happening around the studio every day that you're getting right there via Patreon. Plus, you can listen to this show from start to fruition right through our Discord server. So you don't have to wait till it releases. You've got early access, and we can communicate back with you because you're right there in chat, and we're talking to you throughout the whole show. So shout out to all those on Patreon. Make sure if you want to get that exclusive content, subscribe right here at The Sphere. So let's keep this party rolling. Let's stay right here. I'm excited for this next piece.
Yeah, because you're the only one at the table with one.
Don't do it. Don't do it, kid. Don't do it. So today, folks, and I'm talking in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Tesla is unveiling their next vehicle. Let's chop it up about it. So Elon Musk is unveiling his 5th electric car, and this is supposedly the baby to the controversial Model X. Now, for those who don't know, the Model X is your SUV that has the gully wing or falcon wing doors that lift all the way up on the side. These are the passenger doors. And, of course, the front doors open automatically. If you touch the handles, the doors will open for you. And you pull the handle, the doors will close for you. But this Model Y is the scaled-down version of that same vehicle. Basically, for those who are looking for a SUV in a smaller space, this might be the car or vehicle, shall I say, for you. Now, Tesla has kicked around a lot of vehicle concepts and ideas. We've seen a lot of drawings, but they've got, and we're going to pull this up for those that are watching us, they've got their usual blacked out version of the image, basically just kind of giving you some foreshadowing for what what the vehicle is going to look like. And we're talking late 2020 for deliveries or production, shall I say. So we'll see the first revs come out probably around that December timeframe as normal, and then mass production starts to be delivered for 2021. So literally, we're talking in 18 months, this vehicle will be on the roads. Now, what it doesn't say in this article that I will add is that this vehicle is built off of the Model 3 basis. So we're talking about the battery pack, the motor. So there's some parts of it that are already lined out. The question is, will people buy it? Antonio, I don't know if you're in the market for an SUV, but if you were, would you consider going electric at this point in your life?
Yeah, I think Tesla has proven themselves over the years that they've earned that level of, kind of bandwidth where, when they bring out a product, if it's in your price range, it's worth it. I mean, we already see what's going on with climate change and things of that nature. And I'm not a super environmental nut, but I'm a nut to know that I have an 11-month-old at home and I want there to be some type of world for him. So anything that I can do, whether it be recycling, whether it be electric driving, electric cars. So yeah, as as somebody who is actually in the market for an SUV, it is definitely something that intrigues me. It's something I'm looking into. Teslas are just cool, and besides them being cool, they really offer a benefit. I've seen cost analysis that the cost savings are worth it. What they do for the environment is there, and I think what Elon Musk needs to get credit for is he's taking his product and he's scaling it down to give the benefit and the savings to the customer. And I don't think a lot of people do that. You know, we are in a bigger, better situation in a lot of ways when dealing with cars, and I feel like he's giving you like, hey, you can have this. We're gonna strip a few things away, but you can still have this with all the benefits of it and still the cool features.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty dope.
I think you're spot on with that, and that, you know, that's been controversial as well, right? Because some people can't appreciate a minimalistic setup or design,
right,
because it's something we've never seen before.
Right.
There's always been knobs and buttons and things in vehicles, especially for those who are spending those type of dollars. On the luxury side, your Mercedes, your BMWs, they're full of buttons and things everywhere, and
not necessary.
Some of it's not, obviously, because I you know, there's maybe like 3 buttons in my car outside of the windows going up and down. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a great opportunity for people to move into this crossover small SUV space, because that's what we've seen from the market. When I talked about those luxury brands, it makes me think about the BMW X3, right?
Yeah.
Smaller than the X5, smaller, more crossover style. Makes me think about the BMW X6, who then brought the X3,
right,
the X4, which is a smaller crossover style. It makes me think about the
RX 200 for Lexus. Is the smaller version of the 350,
as well as the NXT, the 200 NXT.
Which is
they're making these smaller crossover vehicles, and people are gobbling them up. And I think that we as a planet, going back to what you said earlier, are becoming more conscious of the environment and saying, you know what, I don't want a gas guzzler. I don't need this big vehicle. Let me be true to what I need, which is maybe something a little bit smaller. I don't need all this space, which begs to question. I even think about that now. I'm like, okay, Model S, I really don't need all the space. I even look at my home. I don't need all the space. Can I downsize, and would it make sense? I'm not sure. And I do want to do a correction. Earlier, I said this would be in about 30 minutes. My time was inverted. It's 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 o'clock our time, not 6 o'clock our time. So we've got a couple of hours before this kicks off. So later tonight, I'll be on watching this. And of course, and you can go to Tesla.com and actually watch the live stream of this event when they bring this vehicle out. But guess what? I'm excited. More electric vehicles means less carbon of a carbon footprint. And of course, that means more chargers for everybody. The bigger push, and Audi's getting into the game, Porsche's getting in the game, all these other companies, and this is only adding fuel to the fire. Tesla, let's do it.
I just want those companies who are getting into the game to give me a real electric car, because I know for a minute there was a fad of it's an electric car in quotation marks, and it was, but it really wasn't. And I want them to, if you're gonna do it right, figure out how to do it, give us an electric car so we can, really purchase the vehicle and really utilize it. And I agree too. The bigger push, the more those stations show up. So there's no longer will be the argument of I can't find a charging station. No, as the market increases, as their footprint increases in the market, you're gonna get more of those things, and it'll be fine. So,
and the beauty, I've never in 5 years of ownership, I've never said, man, I can't find somewhere to charge. I've never said that.
That's what's up.
There are charging stations everywhere. The beauty comes from, I think, the fact that charging stations are charging faster. And now Tesla has something for their Model 3 where they're beta testing it charging at 1,000 miles per hour, which means it'll get 75% of its battery in like 10 minutes or something. You fill up on gas, that's like 4 minutes. So the goal is to be able to beat gas fill-ups. We'll see. Man,
we'll hope, man. Hopefully Tesla reaches out to our next sponsor. This portion of the show is sponsored by True Digital. You're online right now, and guess what? So are your customers. The question is, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to walk you through it every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help you with your website development, online ads, your business reputation, or just organic growth with search engines. Give us a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at 832-934-4436 or send an email to us at info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com ! Mention the Spirit to receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation.
There it is. Shout out to True Digital Media Consulting.
Reign supreme.
Reign supreme. All right, folks, let's make the hard pivot over to our newest segment, Gamers Want It.
You see the Mario.
We see the Mario,
That's
good
fire.
sir.
That's fire.
So let's dive deep. And it looks like Microsoft is launching something called GameStack. Now, GameStack is basically going to bring Xbox Live games over to Android and iOS. Tud, are you a big gamer?
I do, but I'm an old school gamer though.
Okay.
So like I have like so when they brought out the mini Nintendo, I brought that, the Super Nintendo. I'm gonna get the mini PlayStation. I'm got the mini Sega. I even went back and got the mini Atari, which Lord knows I never played. But you know, I gotta raise them right. You see the shirt? I gotta raise them right.
Of course.
So yeah, I do game when I get a chance to, when I'm not doing a million other hobbies because I'm scatterbrained. But I'm really not into the newer games. But yeah, the old school retro all day long, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. And I've.
What about you? Are you a gamer? Hard-bod.
My God. Yo, I am a first-person shooter renegade. I love first-person shooters. I'm playing Call of Duty, Black Ops 4 or 3, whichever the latest Call of Duty is.
Okay.
I'm playing that right now. I don't do a lot of MMORPGs or just or RPGs in general. I'm not a role-playing game person or multi-online player role-playing games because those bore me. I'd rather read a book. But shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Like, that's my thing. But in this article specifically, what's funny about this is I've never been a big mobile gamer.
Okay.
Like, it's very rare I pull my phone up and play a game on my phone.
The screen's too small.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to. Yeah. Like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
And I see people all the time doing this. They'll stop and iOS or Android. For those out here, you're watching this on an iOS or Android device, sitting back just playing a game, going in with the virtual joysticks. I just don't get it. It doesn't work for me, especially like Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
If Fortnite's big, I play a little bit of Fortnite. I'm not good at it because I don't like how it handles because I'm accustomed to real first-person shooters, and it doesn't feel like a real first-person shooter. But integrating this game stack, which means access to Azure and all these other cloud services onto these iOS and Android games, means now we're going to have more people that's able to link in to the console players like us from their mobile devices. And we see the graphic up there. You can see all the different back-end sources. Like I said, Azure, Mixer, DirectX, which is old school, that powered all kind of console games. PlayFab, of course, Xbox Live, which was really the start of bringing a hardcore community around console.
Right.
But overall, I'm excited. I think this is a great direction in technology to bring these cloud-based services to the mobile infrastructure.
And I agree. I mean, so the days of having to go home and sit in front of a television and plug up a joystick, I mean, that's definitely, a little bit antiquated as we look at what we can do with our phones, right?
Sure.
I mean, I can pay bills, I can book plane tickets, I can do a lot of stuff on my phone right now. And then when you get to the iPad, you can do more than that. And then when you get to the laptop, more than that. Of course, you get to the desktop. So I agree with you. I definitely think it's a step in the right direction as we move forward as a society. I am a little concerned about people just randomly playing games. I mean, people can't text and walk. You see somebody in the middle of a game and you're running into people at Walmart. I mean, these kids nowadays, they can't watch Baby Shark and keep straight. So, I mean, I'm a little concerned as far as that goes. I'm also concerned about, we texting and driving. The more access we give to people on their phone, I think the more opportunities we have for some potential catastrophic issues or incidents, because people are just, since it's right here, I don't have to get home anymore. I can play it right here. That's one of my concerns. It's not their fault. I think what they're doing is moving towards where we're going as a society.
Sure.
I just want society to be able to taper it back. Like, this is great if you're in the airport, right? This is great if you're sitting in the doctor's office waiting. Okay, get on your game, get your time in. You know, I don't need you at the stoplight, you know, shooting bang, you know what I'm saying?
Level
going
47.
in. Yeah, just like, yo, I got one more to kill, son. Like,
honking behind you, cars are honking.
I got to get to work, my G. What are we doing? So that's my concern.
I agree, man. It's a very interesting situation, and I want to know what the people think. I want to know how you feel about this. Do you think that Xbox rolling in GameStack for all these cloud-based services and making it now available for developers to create content for iOS, Android, which then merges this ecosystem of online gaming together, you think is a good thing? You think it's going to cause more issues like Pokemon Go did everywhere in the world? Or do you think this is a non-starter? People are going to have access to their gamer scores and their avatars and things like that, and it's really no big deal. Hit us up if you're listening to this on Stitcher or you're watching this right now in Apple Podcasts. We want to know how you feel about that. Make sure you hit us up at the Sphere TV using our coveted hashtag Technocrats so we can get that on you, because guess what, folks, we're doing dope things over here. And speaking of dope, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by KLG and Company. So, are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash your dopeness as a people power empowerment. I didn't mess that all up. I'm tongue-tied now. Movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells within. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com and use the coupon code DOPE for 10% off your exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now, because guess what, folks? Sizes are selling out fast. Make sure y'all get that stuff. So, you know what, my G? That brings us to the end of the show. I got some more stuff to talk about, but you know what? We're gonna hold it. As a matter of fact, I think I want to do a Patreon only episode, a Sphere exclusive, and I'm going to break down for you all the differences between HDMI, display ports, and last but not least, SDI, for those that are heavy on the digital side. And you're talking 4K, 8K, and we may even bring in mini display port and talk about that as well, because I know y'all are seeing that on some of your stuff. So look out for a Sphere exclusive episode. We're just talking digital cables. You got that brand new 4K TV at home. You're trying to figure out what cable to utilize. We're going to break that down. We're going to have that conversation. But my main man, Antonio, thank you so much for joining today, my G. I truly appreciate you.
Hey, man, listen, it's family up here. We only love family. You'll be seeing me at a later time today. But, you know, it was a pleasure. It was something I like to do. I'm maybe not as techie as you, but definitely kind of techie in that. And it was a lot of the topics today I know a lot about, because I do keep up with it. It's kind of my secondary passion, you know, as my job kind of requires me to keep up with the nose. But, yeah, man, you can follow me on Facebook, Antonio Dewan. It's DEJUAN. Instagram and Twitter is my other name, DJ King Tut. So DJ_King_Tut, T.U.T. And Twitter is DJ King Tut 1. So hit me up. You'll see me talking about this, but mostly you'll see me talking about something else.
Something else. And well, we appreciate you again. Thank you so much, sir,
good,
for joining us here on Technocrats. And of course, if anybody that wants to reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or at your local tech store, at G Hawkins, that's G Hawkins with the Z. Got any questions about what we do here at the show? Shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv. Until next time, we will see y'all later. Peace.